So this is how you can pass functions to your component. We had a look at error boundary. So whenever some errors happen, you can just catch the error instead of showing it directly to the user. And then we did React Forms. So React Form is nothing but just some basic React. Just showing you how to use it with the form. I think the most difficult part was how to send functions to your components, right? So, so we can try to redo this exercise. So maybe we can use it in today's work as well. Okay. So how do you create a React app? Let's say I want to create an app called car shop. Already have it. So I want to create an app shop. How do I do this? I want an app name called shop. Let me erase all the previous codes. Yes. npx create React app. We call it shop, and then you just wait. To create it. So I'm also going to go on GitHub and create. So I will create a project on GitHub so that you can follow as well. Repository. So React shop. I'm just going to create a repository, and then you will be following along. Okay. So now we have been able to get our project. We enter it, cd shop, and npm start, and we are supposed to get this, right? Just basic React, nothing fancy. Let's add it to our GitHub so that you can get it on your side. You go into shop, add a remote, git push origin main. So here and here you should get a shop. So you can clone this and then we'll follow along. So you know how to clone this from the link. Git clone the link. So if you want to get this, you can just let's try to open a new window here. So on this screen, if you create a new window on VS Code, and then you go on clone repository. You click on this, and then you paste the repository link from GitHub. And then you press it. It is going to ask you, will you save it? To. And then you can select repository destination. It will ask you to open it. You say trust the authors. And then you will see that you will get your project, all the codes here. You start a new terminal. You do npm install. You do npm start. So you are supposed to get the same project which I'm using. Okay, so the steps were steps clone. So new window in VS Code, and then you do clone git repository, and then you open in the same window, and then you open terminal, and then what did we do? Open the terminal, we do npm install, and then npm start. Okay, so try this, and if anyone has a problem, you can share your screen, or someone can as well just share the screen and do it so that others can follow. So when you finish doing the steps, you put a thumbs up. So you're supposed to see just the basics of this. So put a thumbs up when you finish. Okay, so I'll give you lots of time to follow along. So please get the setup working. Looking for you guys. No, just share your screen. So ask me, Nicole, you need any help? Okay, I'm waiting. Okay, good for you. Nicole, are you here? Hello, Taz. So you have to clone this repository on GitHub. This one. So you can also do it here, no? Open your GitHub desktop, no? Code spacer. Yeah, so clone this repository on GitHub. So on VS Code. So how we do this? You open a new window in VS Code, clone Git repository, and then you paste the link, which I sent on the chat. Okay, and once you finish this, you have to follow these commands. So once you get it, you just open a terminal, npm install, npm start. Okay, so let's try to do the review. So basically what we did on Thursday was we were passing functions, and we have a state. So in app.js, we have a state called a filter, and then we pass the function to change the state to another component. Okay, so for example, this is a filter. So this is select, sorry, this is select, and then this is another component, which is going to tell us which car we have. And then whenever we change the select, it changes the state of the app, and then the second one just changes according to it. So let's have a look. So you have app.js. Let's create our CarShop.js. So in CarShop, we want to create a class component. Import is import React from React, and then we do class CarShop extends. This is normal React component. And then what do I have to do? I have two tasks I have to do in this component. There are two obligatory things which I have to do in a component. What is it? First, I have to define a method inside the class, and then the second, I have to do another task so that I can import this component in my app. Yes. So we do export default. We want to export the CarShop. And then we have another task which we have to do. This is obligatory. Return, no, but it's something else. Yes. So we have to define a render method. The render has to return a JSX. Let's say we want to have H1 CarShop. Okay, and in our app.js, here we can import CarShop, and then we can just render CarShop. And if we come here, you see we have CarShop. Okay, so this is basic. Okay, so git status, do we have it? So we have created CarShop.js, git add CarShop, git add step to clone as well, git commit. So what we have done, made CarShop component, git push origin main. Okay, so try to test if you can get the code. So what you're going to do, you open your terminal, you do git pull origin main. You can create a second terminal, and then you can keep like one terminal. So let me show you. So I have two terminals here. One terminal, I can just say npm start. Okay, so I get this, and then in another terminal, I can just put the plus here, and then in another terminal, I can do git pull origin main. So when you do this one is going to reload, and then you are supposed to get CarShop at your place. Do you see it? Yeah. All right. So in our CarShop, so we will have a list of cars which we want the users to get, and we want to have a filter which the user can type, and then is going to change the list of cars which we are going to display them. Okay, so let's say welcome to our car shop. Welcome to our car shop. You can say H2. We are currently showing, you can say, we're currently showing we can say we're currently showing mm, mm, okay, let's create a state. We are going to, in the filter, we are going to call it this dot state, this dot state dot filter. So if we create a state here, how do you create a state in constructor? We have to create our props. We call super props, and then we define our states. This is that state. We say we want to have a filter. Let's say we say Ford. Ford is our filter. So you can say here, it says we are currently showing Ford cars. If we change the filter here, Peugeot, now it says we're currently showing Peugeot cars. Okay, so far, is there anyone doesn't understand what we have done so far? I think we did this in week 1. So far it's easy, right? Now what we want to get, model. So we're just doing a recap of what we did on Thursday. Now what we have, you want to display a list of cars. You can just, so I'm not going to create it from scratch, so I'm just going to take list cars from that. I'm just going to put it at the top. These are my list of cars. Okay. I have a list of cars. If I want to show them here, how can I do it? I can just create a UL, and then for each UL, I want to create an LI. No, for each car, I want to create an LI, right? So how do I want it to do? So LI, let's say you want it to be Ford, and then you want it to be Ford Torino. Oh no, you want it to be like this. And then you want another one. Make the font size bigger. Yes. Command plus. Is it better? Like this. So this is what we want to do. You want LI, you want another LI for another car. LI. So this one is a Peugeot. Peugeot. Peugeot 504. And then the year. And let's put a third one. This one is Renault. Oh, it happened. So this one is Renault. I know this, this, and this, and this. So I'm not going to continue for all. I'm just going to show you how we do it manually. So what we want to achieve. So we get this. So far you understand what is happening. So I'm going to git commit am. This is our end result. Git push origin main. So this is what we want to do, right? And we also want to have an input which is type text. So of type text, and we want it to have yeah, I think the value we can set it here. This that state that filter, yeah. So we want Peugeot. This is what we want to do. Git commit end result. Push origin main. Okay, so try to do git pull origin main. Let's see if you can come to here. So it is just HTML code right now. The only state which we have used is this filter. But you can see it is just, we just wrote Peugeot here. Nothing fancy. So those who joined late, do you have any issues in cloning the project? You can share your screen. We can do it together. So what is our next step now? So what do you guys want to do? What is our next step? So we want to automate this li part, right? So I don't want to keep writing it manually. I want to be able to use my objects at the top. So how can I do this? How can I do this? So basically my task here is to create li for each car. Each car I want to have this code written automatically for me. What I can do now, if I open curly braces, now it becomes code. Now it is normal HTML, but when I put curly brace, now it becomes code. So here I open a code. Now I'm going to say this list cars. I want to map it. So map function, you know. So for every item which is inside this array, it is going to run the code whatever we have written inside of it. So now it takes function, takes a call, and then for in function it should return li. It should return the li, and then we are going to do car dot brand, car dot name, car dot id. And one thing which we should also add is the key with the array. We should add the key with the map. Did it put it here? Yes, you should put a key so that whenever an item is changing, React can know which item is it. So we put the key is equal to car.id. Yeah. So we have the car name, brand, year, and origin. Year, and then car origin. So now you see, now this is generated automatically for me. Okay, so let's push it. Git commit display list was using my git push origin main. And now we can just remove these ones. Are you guys still following? Is it easy what we have done? Okay. So now the next thing which we can do, so this you can write it. You see this function is a bit too long, so you can just write it this way. Function, this you can put it like this, and then you can remove the return. You can do it like this. So you see, this is just a shorthand of the function which we had before. So this is how in the example you say it is. Oh yes, Abraham recording, yes. So now you see this code, this is how it is in the example. Item, and then the arrow function, and then the return. So if you are not familiar with this type of code, you can still write it this way, like it was. So you have this way, and you have this way of writing it. Okay, so don't feel confused whenever you are seeing code like this, but in reality, it is just a long form of this one. Okay, good for you. So you can choose whatever method you want. If you like the shorter one, do it like this, else there's no problem if you use the function. But the important part is that you're understanding what you are writing. So which one you guys prefer? And 51 or 59 or 60? What do you want to use here? 59 one? Okay, so which is good. So let's try to keep this one. So new terminal. Okay, we can remove this one as well. Remove the hard coding part. Git commit. So we have made a list of calls. Git push origin main. Now, if you do the pull, you are supposed to get only the cars which are here. So thumbs up if you get this. And those who have joined late, have you been able to clone the repository? Okay, cool. Now we want to, so we have this list cars here. I want to filter the state here. What function can I use? How can I do this? So here I have list cars, but when I'm mapping it, I'm mapping all 5 cars. But I want to get only the car brand, which is Peugeot. So how can I do this? Function should I use with this car so that I can get only Peugeot? How can I do this? Okay, come on. What can I use to do this? So I have an array here. I want to get only the cars which are Peugeot. Let's try to put that in the console. So you have your list cars here. Let's clear this. Does it paste? No. Okay, I have to type allow pasting. Okay, so I have a list of cars here. If I just do list cars, I get 5 cars. But I want to get by brand. So I want to get only Peugeot. What function should I use? List cars dot, what function is it? No, no. So the filter function, right? Let me make it bigger for you. Yeah. So filter, what parameter does filter take? What should I put inside of this? If I do filter true, Boolean true is not a function. Oh yeah. So I should return a function. It takes a car, and then inside of this, I have to return true. True is not defined. It is small t. Yes. So you see, it is returning me everything. So what I have to do next? So I have list cars. I'm passing a filter. Inside this filter, I have a function, but this function is only returning true. So I want to get only the Peugeot one. What should I do? Idea? No, we don't have a state here. We are just using a function. So list cars is an array. Filter is a method of this car. And here we are passing a function. This function, we want that for each car, We want only if car.brand, if car.brand that includes Peugeot. Peugeot. How do we write it? Like this. See, now we get only one car. If we want to get all the cars which have E in their name, we get 3 cars. This one has E, E, E. So filter, what does it do? It is going to take all the cars, going to check is the brand, does it have E? And then we're going to return it. So filter takes a long array and then returns us a subset of it. Let's try to copy this code and put it here. So we can put it here. So this function, we can just put it before this one. Before the mapping, we just put this here. So first, we filter list cars. We filter it by this, and then we are going to map it. And this, you can also shorten it. We can just say car, and we can remove the return like this. And now it's become shorter. First, we do the filter, and then we do the mapping. And now you see that now it's showing only Peugeot. It is showing only call with E. Okay, so let's commit it. Git commit showing cars with E. Push origin main. So do a git pull on your side. Git pull origin main. You're supposed to get 345. Do a thumbs up if you get this output. And then you're going to tell me what we can do to make it work with the filter. Okay, so now how can we make it use the, right now it is just showing all the cars with E. I want to get only Peugeot. What should I do now? I don't want to write Peugeot here, but yeah. So I get Peugeot here. So what I should do in order to use the state which I have written? How can I modify this in order to use the state? Okay, so what variable should I replace this with? So I want to replace this so that it is using the state. Okay, come on, come on. What should I replace this with? No one, no one. Try, try, try. No? Yes. We do it. This dot state dot filter. And now we see I get pressure here. If I change the filter to Ford, I get Ford. I change the filter to Chevrolet, Chev, and I get Chevrolet here. So we have been able to use this filter. Once again, git commit. So we filter, you can call it dynamic filter, right? Or dynamic filter. Git push origin main. If you do git pull origin main, you should get this. Okay, so what do I have to do next? Okay, try to pull it and then you tell me what task I have to do next. What functionality is missing here? Okay, is it working for you? All right. So now what do I have to do? Go on the website, just tell me what do I have to do next? What functionality is missing? Button? No. So here, what do you think we need to work on? So we have our filter here, we have this. Is this working? So how can we change this? basically what we want. So we want our input here, whatever we type here, we want it to change the state, right? So how can we do this? The value here. So I want whenever I type in the input, it is going to change the state. What should I do with my input? Yes. So I'm going to add on change here. So on change, it has to run a function which we are going to call update filter, right? And I think it is this that update filter. Yeah. And now we have to define update filter. Update filter is a function which takes an event and then here we can update the filter. So let's try to do this. This dot set state. This dot set state. We change the filter of filter to, let's try to hard code it visual. Okay, so whenever we are typing here, we're just going to change this to Peugeot, like this. If you type here, you see it changed to Peugeot, right? I reload this, I type anything here, it changed to Peugeot. Why? Because here I have hard coded it. Okay, so let's push it. Git commit add on change to input. Git push origin main. So try to pull it, and then you see that whatever you're typing here, it is just going to change to Peugeot. So now your next task would be, how can I get the text which was written here? So this one was hard coded, right? So how can we get the actual user input? So you'll have to tell me how to get the actual user input. Okay, is it working on your side? Now tell me how to get this dynamic. No, how to get this dynamic? From where do you think I can get it? Pass the value to the function. pass the value from where? No. You see that the function already has an event here. Let's try to console log the event. Console log event. So now I come here. You see that whenever I'm typing P E G, you see whenever I'm typing, it is generating an event for me, right? So if I open this event, you will see that I have a target and then the target value. So if I want to get what is returned, so we can just say const user input is event dot target dot value. So this is what the user is actually typing. So we get this by the event. Whenever an input is changing, the onChange is going to send the event here. Event target value. If we just take this, okay, we can just take it here, put it here, and now you get, and now we are supposed to get Peugeot, Chevrolet, Ford. You see how we got the whatever the user was typing? So we can remove this. So now what we have done, so update the state on change. It push origin main. So is it difficult? So the whole code is just here. So at the top we only have list cars, but this is all that we have done today. Is it clearer now? Okay, now the next part is to just put this inside separate components. Like I want this one to go inside my header, and I want this to be my body, right? So let's create a component, we call them header. Header.js, and we want it body.js. So once again, my header function header, and then we're going to export default header. This one we're going to return h1 header component, and then inside my car shop I have to import header component, import header from header, and then here we just put our header. So all these we want to send it to the header. Take this, we just paste it here. Okay, so we get some problem now. And this one, the body, and we create our body. Once again, body function, body, and export default body. And then here we have to return this, and then we paste our codes here. So now my core shop looks like this. See, only my header and my body. But I'm getting some errors. Saying body is not defined. Let's import body. Import body from body. So why do you think I'm getting these errors? Why am I getting this? Okay, let me send the code so that you can also inspect at home. So now what we are doing is git commit. So separate into different components. So the same code, we are now just putting it inside different components. Now all the ugly code is here, and here we have only header and body. But it is not working. What should I do? What should I do to make it work? Okay, come on, try. What should I do to make it work? No? How to get it to work? No one, no one, no one. Okay, then let's start by doing the body first. Let's comment the header for now. So in the body.js, it tells me list cause is not defined. So what does this error tell me? That this variable, that this, the component is not able to read it, right? So let me split it into two, body, and then we have the core shop. Now, what do you think I can do? So inside body.js, this is not defined, right? So where is it defined? It is defined here. What do you think I can do? So I have to send the variable list cause from core.js inside my body.js, right? How do we do this? We just say list cause is equal to list cause. And since here we have pass it as a property, so we want to put the props here. And now you get it by the props. Okay, and second thing which this needs, it needs a filter. So let's add the filter. Filter is equal to this dot state dot filter. And here we are not going to use this dot state dot filter. We are just going to use props dot filter. And now the code should work. Chevrolet this. Let's change it to Ford. We're supposed to get 2 now. Okay, so is it hard to understand? Previously, when everything was in this code, I could just use list cars from the variable here. But when I'm separating it into a different component, now I have to use properties. This is a property, this is a property. And then inside the component, I have to use prop.list, prop.filter. Make sense? Does it make sense or not? Okay. So we have made git commit. We have separated body. Git push origin main. And now let's work on our header. Header, once again, it says undefined reading state. So let's open the header now. How do we do this? Header. Kasha. So how many variables should I pass here in my header? So how many properties should I pass? Can you see how many properties? Tell me which properties I should pass to header. No? So header is trying to read the state and the update filter. H2. No, H2 is not a state. It's not a variable. Look, if I go on my website right now, what do you think I'm getting? The setting cannot read properties of undefined reading state. So this is actually not working. It's not able to get it. Why it cannot get it? Because if you go at the top of this side, we did not define this state. So what we have to do is we have to pass it. We have to pass the state from cashshop.js to header.js. Make sense? Because this is not defined here. It is only defined in cashshop, but this is header.js. So if you want to get the filter, we add a props to the function, and then we just do props.filter. And same for update filter. We're just going to use props here. And we have to pass it to the component. We have passed filter is equal to this state filter, and then we have passed our update filter. The filter is equal to this no, it is it this update filter. Update filter. Now when our code looks like this, now our code can look like this. Does it work? Ford, Chevrolet, you have Peugeot. See, it is still working. So let me commit it. Terminal, git commit. So separated header.js. Git push origin main. So do a git pull, git pull origin main, and you are supposed to get the same thing, but now you see that my core shop.js has only 2 components now, and everything we have just passed it to the rest. Body. Yeah. So now the code looks like this. Okay, has not been added to repository. Yes, you're right. Git status. Okay, yes. Git add source body. Git add header. Commit add components. Push origin main. Okay, try to do pull again. You're supposed to get this, this, and this. So see that you don't have to use component, but using component is going to make your code more modular. Like at first, I just started in only one file. I put all my codes here. And then afterwards, I can just, if I see it becomes too bulky here, I just put it inside different components. Okay, so is it clearer? If you have an issue, you can just share your screen. We'll have a look together. You want to take a break before we? Yeah. Let's take a 10 minutes break, and then we return with the routing. Hello, you guys are back. We can continue. Some of you still having issues? All good? Okay, so if we don't have any other thing to discuss, let's check. So today we are going to do some routing. So what we are going to do is this. So we're going to have like multiple components like this. So you click on home, you go to here. You click on about, you come to here. You click on projects, you come to here. So all this happens without you changing, without you reloading your screen, right? So yeah, let's try to do this. Close, close. Bigger, bigger. Yes. So the first step, what we want to do is we want to install React Router DOM. This is a library which is going to allow us to change our page without reloading the browser. Okay, so I'm going to install this React shop. So I npm install React Router DOM. So let me check if it works. Router DOM package.json has been staged. Let me do the git diff. So see, when I do npm install, now it has added React Router DOM to my package log.json. So I'm going to commit it. Git commit. So add React Router DOM. Git push origin main. So on your side now, what you should do is git pull origin main and then run npm install again. That should install this. Okay, let me delete some. Here we have node, here we have git. Okay. So what you want to do is first we want to create 3 components. We want home, we want about, and we want my projects. So 3 components. And then we will have in our app, we're going to put all the components here. Okay, so let's try to create the different components. You will see how it looks like. So we're going to create a component called home, a component called home.js. So let's just take this component home, export default home, and then inside my app.js, I can import home, import home from home, and then let's see, it looks like this. Okay, yes, I have to put this fragments because I have lots of components now. Now see, I get a home page like this. Now maybe I can remove the car shop. Yeah, so I have a home page. Let's try to add another component. Let's call it about. The about component, I create a new file. I call it about.js. Paste it here. Export default about. And then inside my app.js, I can just import about from about. And there's a third one, which is projects. So here I can just import. No, I have to create another component called projects.js. And then here I can export default my projects.js. Inside my app, I'm going to import my project.js. So now I can just do home, about, and then my projects. I should get something like this. Okay, so I'm going to git commit DM. So I also have to add the components file as well. Yes, git add source, I think that JS, git commit. So 3 components. Git push origin main. So do a git pull, you're supposed to get this. When you get this, you put a thumbs up. Okay, you guys seeing it? 2 more minutes. Let's do a git pull, npm install. And then add this. So the install might take some time because we are adding a library, but it should work. It's good. You are seeing it. All right. So what we have done, we have three components, and everything is just on one page. What we want is that when we click on a link, it's going to go on home page. We click on About Me, it's going to go on About Me. And when we click on Project, it's going to go on Projects. Okay, so we want to make this link at the top. Okay, so one of the first steps to do is, so here, let's say, do we have React Router DOM? We have installed it. And it says in index.js, we have to import this line. Let's import this line in index.js. Index.js, we import this line. And then it says to put app inside browser router. And this one was here. We put browser router. And then we put this app inside of this. Does it still work? Yes, still work. Okay, so let me just commit it. Git commit step 1. Git push origin main. So right now nothing has changed. It's just the components. Now inside my app, I want to put some links. Let me do some UL. So let me just create it here. In my app.js, I want to create a nav bar. Now I'm going to have a UL. Inside this UL, I want to create some li. So it tells me that I have to use link. So I use the link, and then it is a link. You have to say to link to, and then inside of it you put a path, and then inside you put home. So this is how it appears. The link is not defined. So link is not defined. We have to import link from React DOM. Let's import link from React DOM and root from React DOM. Now if you go at the top, you see I find home. Next, I want to make a link to go to about. Copy this. If I want to go to about, I go to about. See, now I have two, home and about. Click on about, home, home about. But you see that only the URL is changing, but nothing is changing below. And it is not even reloading the page. Let's try to add a third one, my projects. Li, we create a link to, and then we call it projects. We end our link, and here we write projects. Click, click, click. I'm going to git commit. So made now git push origin main. So I want you to pull, and then you can just test these buttons. You're going to click on it, you just see that it changes the link at the top. Just test it and you put a thumbs up when it's working. You click on project, you're supposed to see projects at the top. So for Clayton, it's working. The rest, what's happening? You click on the link, it just changes the URL at the top. So 2 more minutes. If you're stuck, you can share your screen and we'll have a look together. Okay, so let's continue. So we have our link. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add some roots. So how does this work? You have roots, and then inside of it you are going to create different root. Okay, root, and then inside of it you can check, you write what path to match. So if you want to match home, inside of it you will have to display the element which is home. So how is it working? So now we are going to match. Oops, sorry. Root is not defined. We have roots here. Roots is not defined. Let me check. Is it roots? Okay. So at the top, if you have home, if you go on home, it is actually slash. No roots match for location slash. So we do have this here. Root exact. Let's try another one. So root exact. It is if you want to go to about. So you want to display the element which is about. Element about, and then you close the root. And then you have another which is root exact. So this one is my projects. We can just call it projects. So when the root is matching project, you want to display the component projects. So projects, and then we end the root. Now, when we come here, nothing is supposed to happen. You click on about. That seemed to work. Exact. Oh, it's path, not so it is path. This one is path. One is path. Yeah, sorry. So now we reload this. So on the home page, you see home. When you go on about, it is going to match this about. It's going to display this. If I go on projects, it matches projects, and then display this. So this is just going to change the link in your browser, and then React is going to check what is the link in the browser. Does it match this one? If it matches this, and then this is going to display home. This part. If it matches about, and then this is going to display about. If it matches projects, it's going to display projects. So this is what is happening here. Okay, so I'm going to push it. Have a look at the code. If you don't understand it, you let me know. Commit. So we have made different paths. Git push urgently. So do you git pull origin on your side? You're supposed to get this about home like this. Put a thumbs up when it's working. Is okay for you? Okay, so we can also add a link to our car shop, right? Let's add a link to our car shop, link to car shop. So car shop, and then we add a route, path. If it is matching car shop, you want the element to be car shop. Now let's check if it works. So we have home, about, projects, car shop. This is what we have worked before. Does it still work? Visual, yes. Code, yeah. See, projects, about, home, car shop. See, everything is just modular now. So you can have different team working on different components. So this morning we work on car shop, and then now we just check the car shop, we just add it into this route, and now we get the same thing here. Okay, so we have done git commit add car shop, git push origin main. Okay, so now let's have a look at how we can add some parameters to the routes. You can add some URL parameters. So for example, you have home, about me, projects, and then you have project JavaScript, project React. So you see that this project element, it is taking a parameter name, right? So let's try this. You can have a link, you can have a route which take path, it is going to take project, and then here we're going to specify a name. Compare this with this one. This is project with S, so it is going to go on my projects, but this one is without S, and we have put a name here. Name is a parameter, and then we go element. So we want to create project. So we have to create a new component project. So we have to create this component project. Say created project.js. So what this is doing? So it is just returning. Project name is name, whatever name you have passed from this, right? And then what is in and then she's taking the parameters. Parameters is what is passed from. So what do we have in parameters? This. So what React is also passing together with the parameters. Okay. So let's try to projects, and then we have to export default, project, and then in app.js we have to import project from project. Use param is not defined. Okay, we have to define all these. Use params. Okay, this one we have to import it from NokoolTV. In my project, I have to import this. Okay. Project. Here's a list of projects. Now what you want to do? In the app, you can create some Path to projects. Let's say you take a project, you call it Python. You make another one, let's call it Project Python. Let's create another one, Project GS. GS, Project GS. Let's create that project. Project React. Project React. Now see, I have 4 links. I click on Project Python. You see, I go inside the component Python, the component project.js. Let me just write the name here. This one is h1 project.js. I click on this one, it takes JS. I click on this one, it takes React. So it is taking whatever I have written at the top. Does it make sense? I go on projects, about. Now it is just changing the component. But inside this component, I have written a parameter, Python. Whatever I write here, I can also write in the top bar. Let's say I write mouse here. See? I write the keyboard. So whatever I write at the top, the component is going to read this, and it's going to display it here. So how do you do it? You use params. Is okay. Its status. Let me add this git add source project.js. Git commit so add project. Git push origin main. So where do you use things like this? So if you want to do a shopping cart, or you want to make a recipe website, so for each thing, you want to match the ID. For example, you have a car ID. So here is where you are going to make the matching, and then we are going to display the required product here. Shop, Project React, Project JS. So do a git pull and let me know if it works for you. Okay. Data is lost. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's go. Let's see what we have to do next. So you can pass informational properties to a room. So what if we want our components to have access to other properties, not just coming from the router? So for example, here, you can have about, but just like you pass properties to components, you can just do it like this. About, and then you pass your hobby music, and then you can display it as the property here. So let's try to do this. So right now, if we go to about, you see about my hobby, you only have this. So what we want to do, we want to say inside my about, like h1, I love, let's put a props here, and then here we say props that hobby, and then inside my after.js, with my about, I can also just send hobby here. Hobby is equal to music. So see, I love music. I can have another component like this. If I send guitar here, you will see that it is going to get guitar here. About projects. Okay, let me say about guitar here. If I go to about guitar, we'll see that it takes I love music, I love guitar. So how do we do this? You can just pass your property just like you do in normal components. So about git commit. So now we're passing props to routes. Origin main. So this is all for today. Did we miss anything? No. So how do you find it now? Was it tough today? You can start doing the exercises. So React to advanced React exercises. So you have to do this. Arrow boundary, home, profile, shop. Okay. New JavaScript, create an arrow boundary class. Indeed catch. Okay. So if error boundary is not working, don't spend too much time on it. Try to do the rest of the functionality instead. Okay. Install React Router DOM in your app. So you want to install this in app.js, add React Router DOM, import Bootstrap. App.js display a Bootstrap navbar. So you want to go home, profile, shop. App.js create free functional component, home screen, profile screen, shop screen. Add a root for each functional component. Each one has a different path. Wrap each of the functional component with an error boundary component. Okay, so you can start working on this, and if you have any other issue, you can share your screen and we'll have a look together. If you want to have some other question on this, you can just ask. Okay, so start working on the exercise. Let me know if you have any issues.